Something's biting! Something's biting! Something's biting! I got a stick! Something's biting! Something's biting! Something's biting! Not too bad.
Welcome to Twinkle Park. The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
Didn't I see a green-colored stone somewhere?
You've discovered the life belt. It keeps you afloat when you're in water. To swim underwater, press the jump button when afloat.
Go. Something's biting! Not too bad. Glad I found you.
Oops!
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
Sorry, if I had only held on tighter. Sorry, if I had only held on tighter.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
Go to Station Square. You may find something. The frog you are looking for is up ahead.
Something's biting! Froggy? Uh-oh. No! Hold on there! Come back, please! Give me my friend back! I'm begging you, please! Froggy? This place doesn't look familiar to me at all. Smells like Froggy's around somewhere. Think I'll see what's behind this door.
Your friend is in the hot shelter. Hurry up and rescue him.
Ah, there's Froggy. Looks like he needs my help. Something's biting! We're together again at last, huh? Huh? That's strange. Where am I? Froggy? Huh? Huh?
Wow. Is it all right for me to be here? So do you trust me? So these are the 7 emeralds. Could it be? The servers are the 7 Chaos Emeralds, unified by one that is the controller. The 7 Chaos. The controller itself. Could this be the emerald that controls the 7 Chaos?
Froggy? I don't like the looks of this place. If something happens now, there's no point to my rescuing you. I don't know who would bother to save us both. We better get going, buddy!
Emergency alert has been cancelled. Resuming monorail operations.
Use the monorail to get out of the ship.
So, I see you're trying to escape. I'm right on time. Chaos, grab him! Get that frog! And don't forget the Chaos Emerald! All right, and now for the frog. The frog is possessed by your tail. Once you get your tail, you'll be complete and ultra strong.
Unbelievable! Look what happened! Chaos has transformed again!
Huh?
Gotta go!
Froggy? I'll save you! Don't worry, Pally!
So, he's your friend, eh? No sweat! I'll get him back! Watch me!
Careful, Froggy! Don't worry! We'll get you back!
Aim for the frog and cast your lure.
Hooray! Froggy! I won't let them take you away again.
Go on and get out of here! I'll do the rest!
Oh, okay. Thanks. Come, little buddy. Time to get a move on. Huh? What? Hey, maybe we could use this. But I don't know the first thing about it. Oh well, I'll give it a try anyway.
So was making Sonic a 3D game just a really terrible idea? The little blue guys had some hiccups. For the longest time, these were the only 3D titles I spent any time with. And even though I'll be the first to admit there's some things that got me really excited, overall, these weren't enticing, captivating, well-polished ways to enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog.
It looks like the princess was moved to another location. Let's head back to the city.
But one series that's been sitting up on my shelf since I got the Dreamcast is Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I've got some great memories about the hype, watching the trailers, getting excited about what the next generation held, but I've been a little bit scared to actually play them. Was Sonic Adventure where the problems for Sonic started? Was this always an awkward game that's been simply dressed up in good marketing buzz? And is the Adventure series still fun to play today? To sum it up really quickly here, I really enjoyed playing these games, and I could totally recommend the Sonic Adventure series to anybody. But since I'm a biased, delusional Sega fanboy, I'm going to give you guys the playthrough. Cut. My legal team said no playthroughs, so we'll just have to do a straight review and just check out what makes these games so super special. This is Sonic's first big appearance since the Mega Drive. We were literally teased through the Saturn years with a 3D Sonic. There were hints of something big out there on the horizon, with a few spin-off titles like Sonic R, Sonic Fighters, and Sonic Blast. We got to see Sonic rendered in 3D in Sonic Jam and on the Christmas Night's demo disc. Franchise figureheads like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and even Mario, they were out there making money, while Sega's strongest moneymaker was stuck in a loop. In saying that, there was a lot of pressure on the first 3D Sonic title, and a lot of hurdles to clear to make that a reality. Sonic relied on his speed, and there's plenty of reasons why that wasn't going to work on the Saturn. The teams involved, the technology available, the development process, I guess in a lot of ways, just like the Shenmue series, the Saturn was where these ideas started, but it took the Dreamcast to bring them to market. And so, with the Dreamcast, that chubby little hedgehog got the chance to show off what he could do in 3D.
No problem.
Sonic Adventure really started bringing together these concepts that were attaching themselves throughout the tumultuous Saturn period. We got to see the hub idea fleshed out, heaps of supporting characters, mini-games, and even some role-playing elements. The adventure portion in that title? Man, they were not kidding. This game feels like a ride, really designed to show off some of the capabilities of the Dreamcast. There's going to be fans of the original Sonic games bummed that so much effort was put into these, superfluous game modes. There's certainly some nods to the original Sonic series here, but this game's got enough confidence to strike out on its own and not be defined by those 2D Sonic titles. Sonic Adventure came out during a time when a 3D Sonic game is what the fans really wanted. There's been so much negativity around recent Sonic titles, especially the 3D ones, that coming back to Adventure, it's just this feeling like, wow, there was all this positivity and excitement for the game. They even made a character especially for it. And even though looking at it now, it is a really stupid character, whose stages literally consist of fishing mini-games. It's cool that they got to take risks like that. And we did get to see his comeuppance come all at once in Sonic Adventure 2. One of the biggest pain points for most of the 3D Sonic titles is all the characters that they try and squeeze in. Personally, I don't mind expanding out the universe a little bit, and in the case of Adventure, I find it helps the game. So we have Sonic zooming along and saving the day, But Eggman's evil plans affect each character in a different way. We get the main story served up in 6 different ways. Each character follows mostly a different path throughout the same story and the same stages. If you're just here to play Sonic, he's got the most stages, and I feel like they're the most fleshed out. But to get to the final ending as Super Sonic, you need to play through each of the 6 different character stories. And is that totally bullshit? Maybe. I didn't actually really mind. I thought it was pretty cool that each of the characters was a separate story. Unlike Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, or even in Sonic Adventure 2, where you progress through the story and you need to play as whatever character for that stage. You get the choice here. A lot of the characters have the same, but altered or modified stages. Even Big the Cat, who has a totally different playstyle. E102 was a bit of a hidden gem for me personally. I found the run and gun, blasting enemies out of the way, extremely satisfying, and apparently I wasn't the only one. That came back with a goddamn vengeance for Sonic Adventure 2, with both Eggman and Tails. After Sonic and E102, I recommend checking out Tails' story. You get to race through the stages and find your own path, where Sonic was actually forced to follow the set route. I actually really enjoyed Tails' story too. For the first half, you're competing, just trying to keep up with Sonic, but by the end of the story, Tails has to start stepping up for himself to save the city.
I've changed a lot since I've started hanging with Sonic. But I can't depend on him forever. I know I can do this by myself. Okay, Eggman, bring it on!
Tails is a character that feels like he's been there since the beginning. Actually seeing Tails' personality and story fleshed out in Sonic Adventure actually felt like a pretty big deal for me. But I do totally recommend turning down the volume. Giving all the characters voices was probably a bit ambitious, but as you'll find out, Tails in particular suffers for it.
What are you doing, Knuckles?
Don't mess with me now.
Knuckles is on a treasure hunt for the Master Emerald fragments. Exploring stages and getting into every nook and cranny, I've easily racked up the most time here in these stages. Lost, confused, and maybe even a bit overwhelmed. Especially with that rogue camera working against me. And then finally, there's Amy, who has a similar platforming style to Sonic, but it's slower, with more focus on platforming in particular, avoiding Eggman's robot and overcoming obstacles. I like the idea behind it, and I had a lot of fun playing with Tails in E102, but it becomes pretty clear that yeah, sure, Sonic is a star here. His stages are the best, and some of the other characters, especially Amy in my opinion, are more frustrating because you feel so much more limited on what you can do. Sonic Adventure has aged, and there have been moments of just pure frustration. The camera is particularly terrible with Knuckles and his treasure hunt sections. A lot of the time, the gameplay is pretty vertical, causing the camera to become pretty erratic. Not all these characters and stages are created equally either, but this was a launch title for the system, and I guess it was a really solid starting point for the Sonic Adventure. For fans of the original 16-bit 2D titles who just want to play some fast, side-scrolling action, there's plenty of them to pick from. Even try hitting up the 8-bit library. Sonic Adventure is a legitimate attempt at bringing the games into 3D and not looking back. I'm not gonna lie, I am incredibly biased. I'm not gonna come into a Sonic review with a clean slate and no expectations. We've already got great 2D Sonic side-scrollers, so I was fully prepared to go with the flow here and just follow Sonic through this 3D adventure. My biggest complaint here was that it felt all a little bit unpolished, especially with the other characters' stages.
Mission failed.
Overall though, it's a really fun experience and I can recommend it to anyone who had thoughts of playing Sonic 2006, but were turned off by the bad reviews. I mean, that game has its problems, but here, for an older Sonic game, Adventure has a lot less loading, better stage designs, and for the most part, less annoying characters. Except maybe Tails. He was particularly bad.
Sonic, What happened to the Chaos Emerald?
So, how did Sonic round out his amazing adventure on the Dreamcast? With another one, Sonic Adventure 2. Faster, more vibrant, better graphics, and believe it or not, the storyline got injected with bigger doses of epic. It feels just right. Eggman with a massive laser, bases hidden in Egyptian periods, and space stations. Sonic Adventure 2 ditched the hubs and the character selection to create a much more action-oriented, less confusing follow-up title that again introduced a bunch of different characters to play with. Shadow, Rogue, and even a playable Eggman. The treasure hunting stages still have pretty terrible camera movement, both Knuckles and Rogue, but it's pretty forgivable when they give you these awesome stages to explore. Talking about cool stages in general, Sonic Adventure 2 feels like it takes you more places, from military facilities, deserts, forests, and even through the city. And can you believe it? They actually tried their hand at creating another, brand new character for Sonic Adventure 2. And they actually tried a bit harder than a big dumb fishing cat. Right on the cover, Sonic received a much more evenly matched adversary, Shadow the Hedgehog. Even though I had a great time exploring the adventure feels in Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2 feels a lot easier to recommend, and a lot more polished, as you follow these 2 intertwining story arcs, instead of 6. So for the very first, brand new game in 2014, I chose to pick up Sonic Lost World. This is Sonic's latest 3D outing, and to be honest, do you know what got me excited about it? After games like Generations and Sonic 4, I played through the Lost World demo, and it had some of that Sonic Adventure attitude. So where Sonic Adventure's big feature was actually being in 3D, Lost World's big feature is a rotating 3D world. I've read a few bad reviews for the game, but I've actually enjoyed bad games before, and overall, it seemed like a pretty interesting direction. Bottom line, I'd stick with the Dreamcast games personally. As a personal thought, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 came at a pretty unique time. These were flagship, defining 3D Sonic titles on what was Sega's swan song console. It was kind of exciting. There's risks, new directions. Not everything ran super smoothly. But I can't help but feel that long-time Sega fans will enjoy the 3D experience on the Dreamcast. The Sonic universe has been fleshed out. There's some great stages, environments, and on the development side, I encountered minimal glitches, bugs, and best of all, minimal loading times. Games like Sonic Lost World are a long way from home, with a completely different audience, bumped up against Mario on his home turf. I kind of get the feeling that the Adventure series are the last Sonic games that are aimed at the fans, without trying to make them nostalgic about the 2D Sonic titles. These are 3D titles that embrace the Dreamcast's power, tried something new, and now, for better or worse, we saw it could work. And there's plenty of 3D titles following up the Adventure series. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to check out every 3D Sonic title, and I don't want to quickly rush through them now. If you're keen to get those hands on some classic Sonic Adventure action, it's not a hard game to track down, either on the Dreamcast or the PC and GameCube, as well as through the PlayStation Network. Let me know, what 3D Sonic games would you recommend? Did you even enjoy the Adventure series, or did you think the Wii titles just did it better? As a Sonic fan, I think I got it pretty good, considering there's no more consoles on the horizon for Sega. There's plenty of Sonic titles across heaps of different platforms. Love them or hate them, each time Sonic comes back in a new game, there's new elements, new challenges, mixed with his signature super fast gameplay. I'd still recommend hunting down the Dreamcast versions of both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. These games were actually made with the Sega Dreamcast system in mind, and despite a few minor bugs, they seem to be the most solid versions of the game. And the Chow Garden feature really shows off what the Dreamcast's VMU was capable of doing. I didn't really get bogged down in the Tamagotchi style gameplay, but feel free to check it out if that's something you'd be interested in.